Hey family, welcome to the Jamal Bryant Let's Be Clear podcast. If you were not invited to the Met Gala, don't worry about it. You're invited to be with the #1 stylist in Black America. I'm grateful to have sister and new friend Tameka Raymond in the building.
How are you?
I'm wonderfully well. What is happening in this whole move of fashion where it is liquid sexuality? Men are now in skirts and dresses. The women are now in tuxedos. Is this the direction or is this just a trend?
I think the world has gotten very fluid, liquid. You call it liquid.
Fluid is the word I was looking for.
I think fashion's a lot less expensive now because the girls don't wear bottoms. So,
Well, that part.
They just wear, they don't wear any bottoms. So I'm noticing that, they just got to buy nice tops and shoes.
Yeah. Karl Lagerfeld said the last step before tacky is trendy. What is...
That's a fact.
Yeah.
I've never even heard that quote, but I live by it. I don't follow trends. I never did. Even when I was styling, I preferred classic style because I think it's something that's timeless and you can look back at it and say, oh, that was cool. I still look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of my projects, I can look at them now, even though they were done 10 or 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're timeless. They look good.
What was your initial draw? A lot of people who think they are fashionable think that they are stylists. Buying a trench coat and getting a picture on Instagram does not make you a stylist.
I always say that. I say just because you own a trench coat and worked at J. Crew for a week, you are not a stylist.
Right.
But I think it's a term that is overused. I think everybody says they're a stylist. And you know what? I don't even call myself a stylist anymore. I'm kind of out of the game. I'm kind of a retired relic of a stylist. Yes. The natural progression for me was to go into design, so I'm more focused on design now.
I wanted to know how you handle critique, drum roll, from the unqualified and from strangers. It's one thing when you're auditioning to get into Juilliard with accomplished artists on the other side of the table, but the internet has empowered people with no certification to have license over your life.
They really, I call them thumb thugs.
Yeah.
Because the internet is full of people that are, I think they're huge cowards because oftentimes they'll say all kinds of stuff on the internet, but then see you in person and want to take a picture.
Yes.
Wow. Can you sign my book? I mean, looking like you just said I was, everything, but the internet has emboldened people to say whatever they feel, and they sit behind a computer waiting on a hot pocket, and they thumb thugs.
Wow.
They just thugs. They just type up a bunch of negative stuff. And I realize that hurt people.
Yeah.
So 9 times out of 10, I look at the person that's saying all the stuff, and they definitely aren't qualified. I'm like, girl, did you grease the door before you came through to say this about me? You know what I mean? Like they say a lot of rude stuff, but usually they're going through pain.
For the hip-hop generation, I hope you are not offended. For the hip-hop generation, you probably were the first person who got the title of being a cougar.
Dang, that's cold.
No, really. There was a big blow up on the age difference.
And you know what's crazy? It's only 7 years. It's not even.
Really?
Yeah, I see these girls out here. They doing it big on the cougar tip. I lost my cougar crowd. These girls are 20. They got men 20 years younger. They having children. They doing they just doing it big. I was 7 years older. I am 7 years. I guess I'm about 7.5 years older.
Yeah.
He's not much. And his soul, his spirit, he's very mature.
Yes.
I'm probably goofier. And, sometimes I'd say more fun. He's a calm being. They don't realize how mature in his ways. I had a very quiet divorce, believe it or not. My divorce was quiet. It was private. We did not go to court. We didn't fight over anything. I didn't fight over money and whatever people, fight over usually. What was public is we went through a custody issue, and that was what was public. And everyone thought that was my divorce, but that was a year later. The divorce was cool. We went to dinner after we got.
Wow.
Yeah, the divorce was fine. We were cool. It was the custody thing that got a little tricky, and people have that confused.
How have you navigated safeguarding your children while being in public space?
Transparency. We are both very transparent. I tell them, they read it, they hear about it. You know, my kids are teenagers, 15 and 16, and they'll ask me, and I just tell them the truth about what happened.
Yeah.
Because I don't have anything that I've done that I'm ashamed of. Either it was a lesson or a blessing or, you know, and people have come around for reasons, seasons, and lifetimes.
Yeah.
And so I explain them what happened and whatever the instance is. And my kids are just, I don't know, they're tough as nails. I guess they got it honest. They got it, yeah.
How in finding your own identity, what I call midlife puberty, is that you're coming into a blossoming or reawakening of who you are as a woman. How are you able to find that independent identity while still being connected to somebody you're not attached to?
You know, it's difficult. It's difficult. Like, I've been sitting here for, I think, 7 minutes, or what is that? Yeah, 8 minutes, 13 seconds. And I'd say about 7 of the minutes have been about my ex.
Yes.
Right? So it's difficult, and I have to navigate that. And I know that's kind of par for the course.
Yeah.
And I realize that people want to know who I was attached to and what that's like, instead of really getting to know who I am. And, you know, and whence I came. They don't really take as much time to find that out. So back to your question, how do I navigate it? I'm just built for it, I guess.
Yeah. Who are you?
There we go.
Home of the Black Panthers, Oakland, California.
Period.
Former headquarters for Marcus Garvey. It is the epicenter for Angela Davis, Huey P. Newton, H. Rap Brown, and so many other great forward thinkers for the
Tom Hanks. Zendaya.
I don't know if we can put Tom Hanks in a Black Panther category.
I'm joking.
Yes.
No, I'm joking.
Yes, but tell me who you are. How'd you get from Oakland to Atlanta?
You know, Oakland, let me start with Oakland first. Oakland is one of the coolest. I mean, it's dangerous. It has a reputation for many things, but as far as the people that it births, they're really as real as they come. Seriously, I mean, we are, I think, pretty transparent, and we just as real as they come. I went to school there. I was born and raised there. I went to the Fashion Institute in Los Angeles. That's what got me out of Oakland.
Yeah.
And then I ended up in Atlanta because I got married to my high school sweetheart from the Bay. He moved here after graduating from Howard, and started.
So you've been married twice?
Yeah, I've been married twice. Yeah. See, they don't know about.
I didn't know that.
I moved to Atlanta because of my first husband.
Yes.
He was living here, had a record label, and I lived in L.A. I was styling. I had finished the fashion.
Wait, your
Institute.
first husband was in the music business?
Yes, he was in the music business.
Wow.
But he was an executive.
Yeah.
Yeah, he owns a bank now, so it's a little different.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's got some cool things going on. And a network. He's got some things going on.
Awesome.
He got some things going on. He's cool. So my first husband was my high school boyfriend.
Wow.
We didn't see each other for like 10 years. He went on to Howard, got his accounting degree, blah, blah, blah. Moved here, started a record label. We ran into each other at an event in Miami, and he moved me here. He was like, "You coming to Atlanta?" I was like, "I am."
Wow.
And I had one son at the time.
Yeah.
I had a son. He was probably like 6, I think, when he moved here. And I got here and stayed. This is my roots. I'm an Atlantan now.
I'm trying to figure out how the Jackson 5 did a Christmas album, and they were Jehovah's Witnesses.
That's tricky because
And the reason why I'm asking Tameka this question is many of you do not know that she was raised a Jehovah's Baptist, as a Jehovah's Witness and a Baptist. So I want to ask you, growing up then, did you celebrate Christmas?
yes and no.
Okay.
All right. So my mom and dad, my mother's family is from Shreveport, Louisiana.
Oh, yes.
They Southern down to the roots.
Yes.
They were Baptists. I went to Baptist church. I was baptized in the Baptist church.
Yes.
But when my father and mother kind of split, I lived with my other grandmother, who was a Jehovah's Witness. So I was taught I went from door to door.
You did?
I did impromptu talks.
Did you really?
Yeah.
How old were you?
Yeah, I was
How old
young.
were you?
I'd say between the ages of 8 and 11.
I got to tell you something. I'm embarrassed now that you're here. I've never opened the door for a Jehovah's Witness.
That is so bad. Everybody
I've
does.
never opened the door. So let me ask you this. If I open the door right now, what's your first line? What's the line?
If you would have died today,
Yes.
where would you go?
Oh, I'm going to heaven. I'm
See?
sitting on the right hand of the
See,
Father.
so you should open the door and say that.
I didn't know. And you all also don't celebrate Jehovah's Witnesses because you're not Jehovah's Witness anymore.
I'm not a Jehovah's Witness, but
Okay.
but I will say that there are teachings that I learned as a Jehovah's Witness
Yes.
that stick with me.
Okay. Do you
So-
celebrate your birthday?
Yeah, my birthday is New Year's. Everybody celebrates my birthday.
Yes. But don't Jehovah's Witnesses don't celebrate birthdays?
No,
Yes.
they
Or Christmas.
acknowledge your birthday. They'll
Yes.
say today's your birthday, but they're not gonna have a big. I know. That was always a little bit confusing. So I'm like, I'm going to my other grandmama's
Yes.
house. Y'all playing
So
over
what
here.
was the upside of being a Jehovah's Witness in the earth, not on the other side?
Well,
in the earth, why would I be excited about being?
In hindsight,
Yes.
right? Because at the time I saw nothing. You know, I
Yes.
was like, why can't I do this? And Why
Yes.
can't? But the truth is that all these holidays, the majority of them are pagan holidays.
Yes.
Easter and the egg and the what's this, the rabbit, all that
Yes.
stuff. What does that have to do with the death of Jesus, really?
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's pagan. That's a money-making way for commerce and, whatever.
Yes.
And the same with Christmas, whereas in the Bible it says when he was born, it was warm. It was a warm night,
Yes.
So it's speculation about when Jesus was born.
Yes.
And so they feel like all the other pomp and circumstance and the Christmas tree and the Santa suit
Yeah.
has nothing to do with Christ. And then the giving of gifts, all that again is, communism. Commerce, everybody's trying to sell.
Yes.
You sell.
So you
sell,
don't
sell.
give gifts.
I do.
Yes.
It's very hypocritical, I know, but that's the hard part about it. Once you know better, you know what I
Yes.
mean? It's kind of hard to know better and still do it.
Right.
But I do. I participate in Christmas for my children, and
But you don't want.
I don't mind. Yeah, I take a little something.
You do take gifts. Stop it now. You're gonna take them for Kwanzaa because you're from Oakland, and you're gonna take.
I'm like,
Christmas
today
gifts.
is Nia now. Today is Nia.
Yes,
You gotta do purpose.
it is that. I'm the proud brother of just one sister, and one of the most important chapters of the book that I want you to unpack because we deal with it in closed doors and not in public space, and that is Pretty for a Dark Girl.
I thought you were gonna say something else
See that?
because I had a chapter called "Mad at God."
Nope. That's too
Powerful.
predictable. Too predictable.
Oh, it's powerful.
We're going to wait to the end.
Okay.
We'll wait to the end.
Okay.
But talk about the whole colorization that still exists. Your family's from Louisiana where they had the paper bag tests that if you were darker than a brown paper bag, that was the second tier.
I was gonna get kicked out of the whole.
Oh, listen.
I'd have got kicked out of the whole community, the whole family, if you go based on that.
Well, then I couldn't have gotten the zip code if you couldn't.
I ain't ever
If
chance.
you couldn't get it. Say, but tell me where that phrase came from and how it connects to you.
It's funny. Pretty for a dark-skinned girl was a backhanded compliment that I would always get. Like, she's cute, I guess. She's pretty to be dark. It's like a
wow.
real backhanded compliment.
Yeah.
I wrote it. It was for Huffington Post originally. And I just wrote about my experience, just everything I went, it was just so much colorism. I feel that a lot of the scrutiny I went through was because I was a dark-skinned girl.
Wow.
I really believe that. I still believe that. Somehow our people are we just favor lighter skin and we don't even realize it. We don't realize that it's kind of intra-racism.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you date light-skinned men?
No, not
Now
really.
there we go. Now
See?
here's the hypocrisy.
See? That's wrong.
Here's
I
the
know.
hypocrisy.
But but I'm not close to it and I don't hate them. I don't say,
Yes, but you have a preference.
well, yeah, I have a preference.
Yes. So
Yeah.
why is it if men have a preference, it's a bias, but if women have a preference, it's a preference? Because if a man sitting in that seat
Okay.
said the exact same thing you just said, They would be screaming online, give us Barabbas.
Wait. Saying the
Crucify
way
him.
that you prefer.
Yes.
No. You don't get
Yes.
it
You
because
said you were Team Kendrick, not Drake. That's what you just said.
Oh Lord.
That's
See,
what
I
you
ain't
said.
seen
You
that.
said you're not for light-skinned men.
Oh no, but I love Drake. See, that's
Me
funny.
too.
I love them both.
But he lost.
Well, see.
You tell me what your sons think. Do your sons think Drake won?
No.
Okay, thank you.
But I ain't feeding them tonight.
Okay, but that's so Drake is the only light-skinned man you stand by.
I love Drake.
Yes.
You know what? Anytime you come up with a song lyric that you only love your bed and your mama,
Yes.
I was all in. He had me. I was like, I love Drake forever, y'all.
Yes.
And
But you know that's been misquoted
why?
because that's not what he said.
Why? Really?
No, he said Ahmed, his son, and Negroes translated say bed.
Okay. His son ain't named Ahmed?
Yes, that's what he calls him. His name is Adonis or something.
Adonis. That's it.
Yeah, check it.
I don't know. What he
Do a
said.
Google search. Those of you who watch.
I guess
Do a
what?
Google
But I
search.
know he said
Put
mama.
in the thread
He
right
said
now
mama.
which one it is.
I got all sons. He said
Yes.
mama. That
Yes.
part. That's where he got
Oh,
me.
that's the part
I don't even
that you
care
like.
about the bed, Ahmed.
Yes.
None of
So
it. He said mama.
Yes. Now that you are back in the market,
Yeah.
would you date a light-skinned man that's 7 years younger than you?
I date anyone that
Uh-oh.
could. I date anyone that
Yes.
could. See, I can't even answer.
I didn't
right.
know answer
What
it.
happened was
Yes.
no. I date anyone that could stand up to the task.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because that's the thing. You got to
Hands up to the task and stand up to teenage boys. Because whoever you bring home now,
That has been.
they're going to be pledging online to get through that front door.
They are rough. Yeah, they are rough.
And I
My
know they
son-
got to be protective.
You know what's not fair about that? Their dad is remarried twice. Twice.
Yes.
I'm like, did you get
And
them?
for the record, you brought them up. But go ahead.
You brought.
You brought them up. I was just talking about Drake.
Okay, but no.
Yes.
Yeah, but no. My I would date a whatever. You know, it just I don't know. That's hard. 'Cause
Would
I
you
don't know.
date 7 years older?
Yes, I would go 7 years old, but we got to stop about there.
Okay. What was the most difficult chapter for you to write in this book? Not write, let me say it another way. What was the most difficult chapter for you to release or to share? Because you wrote it almost being cathartic in your own healing process, but that you had to wrestle and say, do I want people to have access to this part of my mind and my heart? Because this is writing and releasing what you're writing is vulnerability at a whole nother level.
Can I choose two?
You can choose two.
Okay.
It's your book.
I Was Here was a chapter I wrote about my son Kyle. So losing my son who was 11
Yes.
and having to relive it. And see, I did an audio book as well.
Yeah.
So having to read the words and listen to it back and, you know, and then it has sound effects like, the ambulance, the helicopter, the sound in the hospital. It was like a cacophony of sounds with all the machines that he was connected to. So I would say that I Was Here was probably the hardest to write. But Mad at God was hard to write because it felt sacrilege.
A couple of weeks ago, we had on this show Sabrina Fulton, the mother of Trayvon Martin. And she said that there is a different sorority of mothers who've had to bury their children. Tell me how that impacted you.
She and I are friends. And
No way.
oh yeah, I love
Yeah,
her.
I didn't know that. Okay.
I love Sabrina. And yes, we are I call it a club, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
We're in a club that we did not ask for admission to.
Right.
We didn't want to have membership. It's super difficult. I mean, again, you don't want to question God, but it's like there are so many bad actors out here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're going to take someone off the earth, there's some I got a few names I can even give them.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to add to your list.
Right. So we know people that don't even really deserve to be walking around
I only
here.
got 2 to add. But
Right.
Go ahead.
I got about 7.
Yeah. We got to round it up to 10. But go ahead.
There's a whole bunch of people out here that's doing bad things and hurting people
Yeah.
or being disobedient to their parents. And that wasn't my son.
Yeah.
So it was like, wait a minute. This kid has all the potential in the world.
Yeah.
You know, he wrote songs. He produced music. I have tracks. He produced music. He was 11 years old.
Wow.
He's got a YouTube channel still that I used to tell him, take that YouTube down. people are going to find you.
Right.
And that's what he wanted them to do, I guess.
Yeah.
So he was ahead of the game with YouTube. He was a YouTuber long before it was a thing.
Tell me, walking through your journey of having beef with God. Really?
Lightweight.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to talk, God. We got to talk. Mad at God, and again, it's not a selfish chapter because it's not just about Kyle. It's about all of the, atrocities that happened. I just woke up today and I read about a mother who videotaped herself shooting her 3-year-old child. Like,
wow.
What in the world is going on?
Wow.
She killed herself as well.
Right.
But she should have done the other one first, if you that crazy.
And not the video at all.
And then the video, right. Yes. And so I'm wondering, I always say we have a God. How does he not stop this? Like, why didn't he say, make the gun jam or make the mother accidentally shoot herself first? You know what I mean? So I question some of but I'm still God-fearing.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not sacrilege, but it was hard to write it because I was like, Lord, please don't let a thunderbolt come through my house.
Right.
Even questioning you. Yeah. But as my Heavenly Father, I think I should have the right and the onus to ask questions. And then also, you gave me the wherewithal. You gave me this brain that processes everything so quickly. So for me to have these questions, you put them there also. So many questions I have. I have questions about my questions.
Oh, right. Yeah, why I'm questioning. I want you to walk me through a moment as being not just a former stylist, but being stylish. Okay. I want you to talk about a moment you had where you looked amazing and felt empty.
It's a lot of those moments.
Pick one. You were going somewhere, looked in the mirror.
Usually it's on my birthday. So it had to be maybe my birthday. Maybe a couple years ago, I was having a little private birthday dinner. And my birthday being on New Year's is always very reflective for me because it's a New Year's and it's my New Year's, my personal New Year. And I remember not having a date. I mean, I had guys that liked me or whatever, but nobody who I felt was
you
worthy.
Want to celebrate that day with
I'm bringing in the New Year with you. That's
and your birthday.
And my birthday, my personal New Year and New Year's.
Yes.
And I remember, I tell you, it was during the pandemic, and I gave a 50th birthday party.
Yeah.
And it was at my house, and I invited, I guess, 50 people, and everybody had on masks and stuff. It was weird. But I remember feeling like, God, my husband should be here. You know what I mean? I should be jumping on a plane, going back to Italy, and bringing it in with my husband somewhere. You know what I mean? I thought, what am I doing? So I've had a lot of those moments. A lot of times you smile and people don't see what's behind it, you know?
What is Tameka Foster Raymond's superpower?
My ability to remain in a beautiful state. And that is that things make me mad. People say things I don't like.
Yeah.
My kids' rooms are a mess probably right now. But I know how to say what I mean and go back to being in a beautiful state. I don't hold grudges. I don't stay mad at people. Yeah. There's nobody I can say right now that I'm mad at or I don't like. They may not like me. Yeah. But that's their problem. That's their cross to bear. But me, I remain in a beautiful state. Usually I have told you off. Yeah. And I said my piece.
And then you
I let it go, and I'd be like, do you want to get some spinach dip? We should go to Houston.
Before you got to the beautiful state, where did you live?
Mad. I was angry. Everything, everybody. If you did something, I'm from Oakland. So you Google us.
Yes.
I was Tameka in the real sense. Yeah. I would be Tameka. I used to get mad, and it could go wherever you wanted it to go. I got that switch. But I have mastered, I'd say, the ability to remain in a beautiful state. It's really about keeping my peace. It's about, I just don't be mad at stuff. It's not, I don't major in the minors. Yeah. I don't spend much time there.
How do you keep your own identity when you are connected to somebody who is powerful?
The advice I would give, I can't say I've mastered it because obviously I didn't do it. So I don't all the way know.
Yes.
But I would dare to say, keep your independence, keep whatever you're doing, whatever it is that you had that attracted that man, keep doing it. So if you're working, don't quit your job because you get with this gazillionaire or whatever.
Right.
Keep your job, keep your career, keep your hobbies, keep yourself maintained.
What does that mean?
That means keep your hair and nails done, keep your teeth clean, keep your health good, keep your house nice. Cook sometimes if you know how. At least make tacos on Tuesday.
I'll learn on YouTube.
They'll learn exactly. Or hire a chef. Listen.
You living in an alternative universe.